Hey everyone, Mike Mulligan here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am a certified orientation and mobility specialist, and today I'm going to be giving you a video review of this awesome app called Microsoft Soundscape. So let's check it out. So for those of you who never heard of the Microsoft Soundscape app, it's this really awesome app that was developed by Microsoft, and it's available and free to download on the Apple App Store, and it works with iPhones 5S or newer. And what makes this such an awesome app, in my opinion, is that it's designed for people who are blind and visually impaired to help with orientation. And it does this in a pretty unique and novel way by creating 3D sounds that are played through a set of stereo headphones that can either be directly connected to a phone or used through Bluetooth headphones. And it does this in a way that it helps to create a mental map of an environment. And with the help of voice prompts, it's a great way of getting to a destination. And this will all make more sense when I go out and give you a little demonstration of the different features of Microsoft Soundscape. But this is really an awesome app, and I'm looking forward to showing you a little bit more of how it works and why I like it so much. All right, so let's go out and take a look at some of these awesome features of the Microsoft Soundscape app. And then when we come back, I'll talk a little bit about what my professional opinions are of this app as an orientation and mobility specialist. So let's do it.
Sound Work apps. Soundscape. Double tap to open. Use 3D touch to show home screen actions.
All right, so now I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of some of the different features of the Microsoft Soundscape app. And I'm just going to briefly cover them. This is not meant to be a tutorial on exactly how to use each feature thoroughly, but it's just wanted to show you a little bit of what the features are and how they work. And right now I am on a residential neighborhood, or in a residential neighborhood. There's a sidewalk in front of me that goes left and right, and then a street directly in front of me. So I'm going to be using VoiceOver for this demonstration, and that's one thing I wanted to point out, that VoiceOver is accessible with this app, which I think is pretty important. So that's just something to note. So I'm going to open the app.
Soundscape. Menu. Button.
And this is the home screen here, and I've found that it's pretty easy to navigate. It's not super cluttered, and it makes it pretty simple to get to where you're going or what you're looking for. So I'm going to start with some of kind of the auxiliary features here, and then I'll go to the main one feature of this app after that. So I'm going to swipe right.
Mark sleep. Tap here. Set audio. Expand my location. Button.
So the first one I want to cover
Double
is
tap
this.
to hear about your current location.
Is this my location one? So if you double tap it, you'll hear about your location. So let's try that.
My location.
East along Linden Street.
So it told me which way I was facing, which was east, and then I am along Linden Street. So that's the street directly in front of me. So that gives you kind of an idea of where you're at while you're using the app, and I find that pretty helpful.
Nearby markers.
The next
Button.
one.
Double tap to hear about nearby places that you have marked.
This next one, nearby markers, is a pretty cool feature because you can add your own beacons or places of importance. So when you set a place that you like to go to, say a park that you're interested in, or maybe it's even the bathroom at the park, a more specific location, you could set a marker there so it's always saved, and that way you can easily find that destination. And then the next one is around me. So I'll swipe right to get to that.
Around me. Button. Double tap to hear about places in the 4 quadrants around you.
So this tells me what's pretty much around me in every direction. So let's double tap that and see what happens.
Around me.
Smythe Road Elementary School, 0.29 miles. Oak Park, 0.2 miles.
So I think that's pretty cool. It told me about a school that's nearby as well as a park, and even how far away they are. And then the last kind of auxiliary feature is ahead of me. So this tells you what's directly in front of you. So let's try it.
Ahead of me. Button. Ahead of me.
Smythe Road Elementary School, 0.29 miles. Derryfield Park, 0.39 miles.
All right, so I know that in front of me, even though it's past those houses, so you'd have to navigate around them, but there's the elementary school and then a park. So those are the auxiliary features, and now I'll cover a little bit about the main feature called Set Audio Beacon. So the Set Audio Beacon feature is really the main feature of this app that is used the most, and this is what incorporates the 3D sound into the app. So when you're using stereo headphones or headphones that are plugged in or used through Bluetooth to the app, when you set audio beacons, that's when you hear the beeping in either the left or right ear. And one thing I want to mention about headphones, I find as an orientation mobility instructor that having headphones such as bone conduction headphones that don't block the ears is really helpful, because then you could hear the other surrounding sounds such as traffic or people or any other obstacle or thing that might come in the way or cause a safety issue. So having some bone conduction headphones, I heard Apple AirPods have a transparent mode that I haven't tried yet, but that might be a good option as well. Okay, so for setting audio beacon, this is really where you select your destination of where you want to go. And you could either input your own address or destination, or you could look through a list that they already create of places that are near or around you. So let's open Set Audio Beacon.
Set Audio Beacon button. Explore nearby. Heading.
So this is where you can add your own place or address at the top. And then you can also pick from essential services, public transit, food and drink, all places, recent, browse your markers, use current location. So there's a lot of different options there. But for this demonstration, I'm going to be using food and drink. So I'm going to swipe right to that.
Public food and drink button. Loading nearby places. ZJ Market, 0.48 miles south, 266 Bridge Street, Manchester, New Hampshire, 03104, US.
So the first one that came up was this ZJ Market. There's ones that are closer, but I think because where VoiceOver was, it just automatically selected that one. So we can use that one. And for this demonstration, I'm not using headphones for the recording, so with headphones you'll get more of the 3D sound, but at least here you'll be able to hear what the different sounds sound like, as well as another cool feature which I'll show you in just a second.
Menu button.
0.48 miles.
So now the beacon is set and there's a light chiming going on. So if the market was to my left, it would be doing this chime or beeping in my left ear. And if the market was to my right, it would be chiming or beeping in the right ear. But one other cool feature about this is that when you tilt the phone and point the top of your phone in different directions, when it's pointing in the direction of the market, it makes a different special chime. So that chime you hear, or you did hear for a second, let me get it going again, means that my phone is pointed directly at the market. But as you can tell, there's definitely a house and a wall in the way here, so you would have to obviously go around it and find the streets you would need to travel down and cross to get to the market. And then another cool feature is that when I'm walking, it will announce to me what the cross streets I'm coming up to are, as well as which directions they go. So if this street goes left or right, it'll tell me that. So I'm going to try and demonstrate that here and walk up to an intersection and see what it says. So it's still chiming. So the chiming can be a little bit frustrating if you're really not used to the sound. So it does take some getting used to having a chiming and beeping going on all the time. But right now I'm walking down the sidewalk here, and I'm going to see what it tells me at this upcoming intersection here.
Approaching intersection. Linden Street continues ahead. Crosswalk. Crosswalk.
So it told me the intersection that I was coming up to, as well as that there's a crosswalk. The crosswalk thing I don't find quite as reliable, but it's a cool little option here. So I turned down one road, but I'm going to head back to that intersection again.
West along Lodgett Street.
And it tells me that I changed directions. So it uses cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. So it's a pretty cool app. I like that it alerts you of what street you're coming up to. I think that can be pretty helpful, especially when you're not sure what the street names are. And that really helps with orientation. But again, this really requires some good mobility skills to use, because it's not telling me anything about what side of the street I should be on, if there's potholes, when to cross the street. But if you have some pretty decent mobility skills and you're a good independent traveler, adding this as an orientation tool or app can be really helpful. So to be honest and frank with you, I really love this app for orientation purposes for someone who's blind and visually impaired. As an orientation mobility specialist, I really enjoy teaching this app, especially for someone who's more of an advanced traveler and has really developed mobility skills. And when I say mobility skills, they really feel comfortable using a cane, because this doesn't give you those kind of warnings. It doesn't tell you if there's a curb coming up or if there's a hole in the ground. And it doesn't tell you when it's safe to cross a street. So those mobility skills are really important when traveling. So this is just a great tool to add on top of that once you're comfortable with those mobility skills. But I would definitely highly recommend checking out this app to see if it's a good fit for you. And please talk with one of your orientation mobility specialists in your area if you have questions or you want to learn more about it or you need some more practice with mobility skills. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video review was helpful about the Microsoft Soundscape app. And please, if you're feeling up for it, subscribe to my channel here. And if you click that little bell, you'll be alerted when I do new reviews or new video content becomes available. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.